Just a couple things from Steve, what he said, and I just want to echo and make sure. I mean, he said personal invitation. So if we can ask people, that's going to bring them in. And then the other thing that he talked about, that he had the responsibility of mailing out the prayer requests. So delegate responsibility within your group. That's going to make people feel like ownership and feel like they're part of the group also. All right. First, you were given a packet when you came in. Should have a workbook, DVD, and the book. Some of you I know have the book at home, so we just gave you the DVD and workbook. So you should have those materials. And what we've got is a 9-week session that we're going to go into the trimester for the winter. And it's going to go from January 10th through March 13th. And that takes us right up against the Hudson School District spring break. So it worked out well in that terms. The first session that you have, there'll be no preparation needed for your group members. What will happen is you will come together and you will watch 38 minutes of the DVD that we've given to you. So session 1 is 38 minutes of DVD, which is Tim Keller talking. And then there's 3 questions in the workbook to work through during that time period. So we'll look at that. The other 3 weeks, we're going to spend time playing together, and I would encourage you to do that as early as possible you can in your group. I know in winter, just giving you some experience from my group, winter we did our play at the end, and I had 3 of the couples come up to me and say, we should have done this at the beginning. We were a totally new group. We didn't really, there were some people that I didn't even know, let alone, the rest of the people. That was kind of the first time I even met them. I mean, even seeing their faces, didn't even know who they were. So, so that might be something, particularly if you're in a new group, to look towards that. Eating together will be another week that we can do. And a suggestion with that is that you might want to wait till after the 6th study to do that. And because we all know that this parable ends with a banquet, so we might try to tie that in with what you've got there. So that's just a suggestion, not that you have to do it this way or anything. Serving together. Again, we want to do some service projects together, so take a week. On page 5 in the workbook are a list of some possibilities that you can lean upon if you need something there, or if you have your own, feel free. I know a lot of times, a lot of the groups this fall did several things on their own outside of what we had suggested or put out there, and that is great and fabulous that we have those things going on. And then another thing that we're asking of the groups is that we pray for non-believers. And if you look at page 7 in the workbook, we put a whole section in there on praying for non-believers. This is basically what I emailed out last fall with the little 1-sentence prayers that we can pray for the people. What we're asking is that each person would have 1 to 2 people that you would pray for, and you would make a list for this. We've actually put page 10 has an area where you can make your list on that, and then that we would take time during our group meetings to pray for these people by name, so that we would go through that and do those type of things. All right, let me just take you through what might be a typical week, and let's just look at week 1, which is on page 13 in the workbook. So we got week 1, which is the parable. And what we have, this is a leader's guide, and the people who are in your group will get a different book, slightly different, so they won't have everything that you've got in your book. And the one we're going to start out with, preparation, they're not going to have that in their book, or it's going to be a little bit different anyway as far as the preparation. So the preparation for week 1 is to invite your group meeting members to your meeting. Please try to do this by a phone call. Make a personal touch if you can with them. And then stress to them that more than likely the first meeting is going to be 2 hours in length. If you're accustomed to meeting at 90 minutes, which we tried to do in my group, just let you know that more than likely the activities that we're looking at is going to take about 2 hours for the first meeting only. And you can go back to the 90 minutes for the rest of the meeting. So just let them know that up front, that more than likely it'll be 2 hours. And then pray for your group members by name. And I've listed 2 suggestions that you might pray for. And then I'm asking you to read Luke 15, the whole chapter, pay in particular attention to the verses 11 through 32, and then watch the Prodigal God film before the group so that you've been through it once. Then you'll go into the group session. We've added opening icebreakers that you can either use or not use. I mean, these are just suggestions in there that you can use with your group to go through. So turning the page then, on page 14, you see what I'm calling the lay of the land. And what this is just talking about your group, what you've got happening in your group. For instance, our playtime is next Tuesday. We're getting together to go bowling, or whatever the situation is. So this is just a time where you can review upcoming things for your specific group. And I've just basically I've put in there reminders of things that you're looking towards, like your playtime, your eating and together, and your service project, and those type of things. So in week 1, you would obviously also talk about the prayer for the non-believers that we have, asking people to have 1 or 2. And then I suggest in there also to delegate the responsibilities of the group. Don't try to do it all on your own. That'll free you up for the group. Won't be so much pressure on you and as far as making the group happen. After that, then there's the study time. And reason for the longer time here is because of the length of the DVD. We're going to watch 38 minutes of DVD and then answer 3 questions as a result of that. Then on page 17 is the closing. And so there's a prayer time talking about the assignment for next week, which in this case would be to read the introduction in chapter 1 of the Prodigal God book, and then complete the workbook questions for week 2. And then also, if people want, we're putting this out there for people, we will have Tim Keller's sermons that he preached during this series at his church in New York City, online, that people can go and listen to his sermons. Now, that's not a requirement to do the study, or it's just another avenue that if you want to touch on that and go that way with that. All right, so that's kind of looking at the workbook. Any question that you have on the workbook? I know it's kind of hitting you with it and saying, here we go. But anything at all on the workbook?
So when people buy the book for themselves, they will get their...
Yes. Yeah, we'll have workbooks available this weekend for people to start picking up.
How much are they?
It's $10 total for... Yeah, they'll get this for $10.